This video lecture has been produced using artificial intelligence with the supervision of Belhaven faculty. We're going to explore what really makes a school tick, its processes. These are the day-to-day actions that, when you manage them effectively, become the most powerful tool a leader has for driving real, lasting improvement. Our journey today is a really practical one, and we've broken it down into 5 key steps. We'll start with the basics, defining what school processes even are. Then we'll get right into the how to create an inventory, how to measure what matters, and how to use flowcharts for clarity. We'll wrap things up by thinking about how you can apply all these tools in your own setting. So let's start with the big idea. Why should we focus so much on processes? Well, it's because they are the single most powerful lever a school leader can pull to turn their vision into an actual reality. So, what exactly is a school process? Well, it's any action, big or small, formal or informal, that moves the school towards its vision. And here's the crucial part. It's not just the official strategies written down somewhere. It's also the ingrained habits, the unwritten rules, the way things are actually done. These actions are what create your results, and they're almost entirely within your control. We can think about these processes in 5 main buckets. You've got your instructional processes, which are all about teaching and learning, of course. Then there are organizational processes, the structures that hold everything together. Administrative processes keep the lights on and the school running smoothly. Continuous school improvement is the process of how you get better over time. And finally, you have programs, which are those special initiatives you might run. All of these together, they really form the operational DNA of your school. All right, now that we know what processes are, the next logical step is to map them out. I mean, you can't improve what you don't understand, right? And that's where a process inventory comes in. It's really all about making the invisible visible. This is a simple but really powerful 3-step procedure. First, you just list everything that's happening, every process. Then you hold that list up against your school's vision. And finally, you color code it to prioritize what to do next. Green is for things that are working well. Let's keep those. Yellow is for processes that are important, but they need some work. Pink highlights things that might be redundant. Maybe you could simplify or get rid of them. And red is for processes that are actively working against your vision. Those are the ones you need to stop. This slide gives us a great example of what an inventory looks like in practice. Now, don't get bogged down trying to read every single line here. The key takeaway is the structure. See how it organizes processes, like differentiated instruction, into those categories we just talked about? This is how you start to get that big picture view of everything happening in your school. So having an inventory is a huge step forward, but it's really just the beginning. Now we have to ask the tough question, are these processes actually working? And to answer that, we need to move from just listing them to actually measuring them. We need data. There are 2 main ways we can measure our processes. On one hand, you have qualitative measures, like focus groups and interviews. These tell us the why, the stories and experiences behind the numbers. On the other hand, you have quantitative measures, like achievement data. This gives you the hard evidence of what is happening at scale. And you really do need both to get the full picture. This slide shows a fantastic tool to help make your measurement really intentional. And again, don't try to read the whole table. The key idea here is that for every single process, this framework forces you to ask 3 simple but powerful questions. What is its purpose? What does success actually look like? And how are we going to measure that? This simple structure really ensures you're measuring what truly matters. And this brings us to a crucial question for any leader. How do you know if a process is actually being followed? A brilliant plan on paper is pretty useless if it's not being implemented consistently in the classrooms. Monitoring is the bridge between your plan and the results you want to see. So how do we prevent what's often called process drift? Where a good idea slowly changes over time into something less effective. Well, one of the best tools for this is flowcharting. It's a simple way to create a visual roadmap that everyone on the team can see and follow. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? If you're not keeping an eye on a process, you can almost guarantee it's not being implemented the way you intended. That gap between the plan and reality is where so many good initiatives fail. And that's exactly the gap a good flowchart helps you close. A good flowchart isn't just a diagram. It's an incredibly powerful leadership tool. It creates a common understanding so that everyone is on the same page. It breaks down complex ideas into simple, manageable steps. It allows for standardization, which is absolutely key for consistency. And maybe most importantly, it gives you a clear map to monitor, making sure that what you designed is what's actually happening in practice. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. In this last section, let's bring it all together and think about how you can actually apply these tools, the inventory, the measurement, the flowcharting, in your own school, in your own practice. So let's leave you with 2 questions to reflect on. First, why is understanding your processes so critical for continuous improvement? And second, here's a more challenging question. Do you truly know all the processes, both the official ones and the unofficial ones, that are shaping your school's culture right now? And are they moving you closer to your vision, or are they maybe holding you back?